Next on BGSU Brain Game, it is Riverdale versus Lima Shawnee. I think we better get ready for some cranial kendo. Only one team can leave victorious. Who's it going to be? Only one way to find out. BGSU's Brain Game starts right now. And welcome to BGSU Brain Game. It is Riverdale versus Lima Shawnee. What are we waiting for? Let's meet our starting lineups. For Riverdale, led by Coach Thacker. In slot number 1, we have Lily, a sophomore. In slot number 2, it's Chloe, a junior. And in slot number 3, it is Carolyn, a sophomore. Now for Lima Shawnee, led by Coach Young. In slot number 1, we have Angelina, a junior, Georgiana, a junior, and also a junior. In slot number 3, it is Ezra. Welcome to Lima Shawnee and to Riverdale, and welcome to you at home for BGSU Brain Game. We're gonna start things off, as we always do, with our toss-up round. In this round, there are 10 questions. Each question is worth 10 points. No deduction. I was going to say that again. No deduction for an incorrect answer. So you can play a little bit looser on your buzzers. If you think you know it, I say go for it. You may confer before buzzing in, and you can steal a question in this round. Riverdale, Lima Shawnee, you at home. The toss-up round starts right now. What gives flamingos their pink color? That would be Riverdale. Lily?
Krill.
Incorrect. Lima Shawnee, a chance to steal. That would be Georgiana.
Shrimp.
Correct. Multiple choice question. This voluntary muscle exists in only one part of your body. It contracts and relaxes to transport oxygen throughout your body. Is it A, skeletal muscle, B, smooth muscle, or C, cardiac muscle? That would be Lima Shawnee. Ezra?
C, cardiac
C
muscle.
is correct, cardiac muscle. What open world Harry Potter universe game released? That would be Lima Shawnee. Ezra?
Hogwarts Legacy.
Hogwarts Legacy is correct. What Japanese monster is sometimes called the king of the monsters? That would be Lima Shawnee. Ezra?
Kaiju.
Incorrect. Riverdale, chance to steal. That would be Carolyn.
King Kong.
Incorrect. Godzilla. One of my favorites growing up. These people were given land by a baron in return for military service and protection. They kept land and distributed any leftovers. That would be Lima Shawnee. Ezra?
Knights.
Knights. They would leftovers to serfs. Japanese martial arts focusing on sword fighting, utilizing that would be Riverdale. Carolyn?
Samurai.
Incorrect. Utilizing bamboo swords and protective armor. Lima Shawnee, chance to steal. That would be Ezra.
Kendo.
Kendo, yes. Multiple choice. Who is the Greek goddess of the hunt associated? That would be Riverdale. Lily?
Artemis.
Artemis is correct. Did not even need the multiple choice. During the War of 1812, who commanded U.S. naval forces and won a decisive battle against the British on Lake Erie? That's C. That would be Riverdale. Carolyn?
Perry.
Perry is correct. Oliver Hazard. Multiple choice. What is the oldest theater still in use in England? Is it A, the Globe? That would be Lima Shawnee. Georgiana?
A.
Incorrect. The Globe Theater, A. B, Drury Lane Theater, or C, Old Vic Theater. Riverdale, chance to steal. That would be Chloe.
B.
B is correct. Drury Lane Theater is actually the oldest. What state is home to Big Bend National Park? That would be Riverdale. Chloe?
California.
Incorrect. Lima Shawnee, chance to steal. That would be Angelina.
New York.
Incorrect. Texas. End of round. Let's take a look at our score. We have Riverdale at 30 points, Lima Shawnee at 50 points. We're just getting warmed up here at BGSU Brain Game. Stick around. The risk and reward round is coming up next. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU Brain Game. Riverdale 30, Lima Shawnee at 50 points. Both of our teams have elected to stay with their lineup from the previous round, so we are moving directly to our risk and reward round. Goes like this. There will be 3 categories to choose from. Riverdale with 30 points, you will get to make the first selection. Once you select your category, you will own all 10 questions in that category. First 9, 10 points apiece, no deduction for an incorrect answer. 10th question is the risk and reward question. You can risk up to 30 points in 5-point increments on that risk and reward question. Get it right, get the points. Get it wrong, you lose those points. Lima Shawnee, same rules apply to you, except you only have 2 categories to choose from. But the big question on everybody's mind, what are those categories? The categories are art, technology, sports. Riverdale, you may choose between art, technology, and sports.
We would love to do art.
Art it is. What is the English equivalent of the French art form of nature morte? It most often includes a vase or container and flowers or other inanimate objects. That would be Carolyn.
Pottery.
Incorrect. It's actually a still life is what we were looking for there. True or false? Jackson Pollock began to paint at the age of 8 and went through several periods, including rose and blue. Name this artist's genius whose style of cubism can be evidenced in his painting Three Musicians. That would be Riverdale. Carolyn.
Picasso.
That is Picasso, so it's false, correct. In 1911, Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa was stolen by a museum employee, but recovered 2 years later in Italy. From which European museum was it taken? That would be Chloe.
Louvre.
The Louvre is correct. In this rare night landscape, the curving, swirling lines, that would be Chloe.
Starry Night.
Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh. Embroidery, tapestry, and quilting all fall under which category of hobby or skill that requires a special tool and frame? The correct response begins with the letter N. That would be Carolyn.
Needlepoint.
Needlepoint or needlework, yes. In a painting by this artist, 2 ancient philosophers are portrayed with the faces of Leonardo and Michelangelo. Identify this Renaissance painter of the school of Athens. That would be Riverdale. Chloe.
Raphael.
Raphael, also a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Multiple choice. This American artist moved to France in 1866, where she exhibited with the Impressionists. Identify this close friend of Edgar Degas, noted for her works that featured mothers and children caught in everyday moments. Is it A, Mary Cassatt? B, that would be Riverdale. Carolyn.
A.
A is correct. Belgian painter René Magritte, 1964's work, The Son of Man, depicts a man wearing a suit and a bowler hat, and whose face is concealed by what object? That would be Riverdale. Chloe.
An apple.
An apple is correct. Multiple choice. Named Girl with Balloon before it was partially shredded at a 2018 auction. Love is in the Bin is an artwork that sold for $25.4 million in 2021. By what one-named artist? Is it A, Giorgio, B, Arthur, or C, Banksy? That would be Riverdale. Carolyn.
C.
C is correct. Risk and reward time. The subject is art. You can risk up to 30 points in 5-point increments on the topic of art.
Yeah, let's try 15. Risk 15 points.
15 points for Riverdale on art. When George Seurat created his large painting A Sunday Afternoon on the island of La Granjat, what technique or style did he employ? That would be Riverdale. Carolyn.
Pointillism.
Pointillism is what we're looking for, plus 15 for you. All right, that ends the risk and reward round for you. Riverdale now stands at 125 points. Lima Shawnee, it now falls to you. You have two categories to choose from: technology or sports.
Technology.
The topic, technology. Multiple choice. 256-bit, referring to the length of the key, is a type of this which scrambles data for security purposes. Is it A, authentication, B, hashing, or C, encryption? That would be Ezra.
C.
C, encryption is correct. Again, another multiple choice question. Which of the following components is primarily responsible for performing the calculations and processing instructions in a modern computer system? Is it A, random access memory, B, central processing unit, or C, solid state drive? That would be Ezra.
B.
B is correct. Central processing unit, or CPU. What do we call the smallest unit of computer memory? Ezra.
A byte.
A byte. Cannot accept that. It is a bit. What name was given to the world's first artificial satellite? Ezra.
Sputnik.
Correct. Cryptocurrency. Transactions are recorded using what type of database technology? That'd be Ezra.
SQL.
Incorrect. Blockchain is what we needed there. What device was used in 1970 to see an individual atom for the first time? Ezra.
Electron microscope.
Correct. What is the process of verifying yourself in order to use a computer system? Some might require two-factor. That would be Georgiana.
Authentication.
Authentication is correct. Multiple choice. What is the namesake for the, quote, test, end quote, of AI, which determines whether a computer can make a person think it's a person? Is it A, Grace Hopper, B, Alan Turing, or C, John von Neumann? That would be Ezra.
B.
B is correct, Alan Turing. Using a gear-toothed wheel and mirror in 1849, Armand Fizeau measured the speed of what? That would be Ezra.
Light.
Light is correct. Risk and reward. The topic is technology. Lima Shawnee trailing by 5 points. The decision is yours.
Okay, what was it?
30.
Okay.
30 points. This device was used back as far as 3500 BC and didn't need to be reinvented. The oldest examples are wooden discs and 3 carved planks clamped together by struts. That would be Ezra.
A wheel.
A wheel is correct. The extra points for you. We now have Lima Shawnee at 150 and Riverdale at 125. Only 25 points separate these two mighty teams. And coming up next is our category round where things can change very, very quickly. Why? Because there are questions worth 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 points, and the deductions are gonna start. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU Brain Game. After our toss-up round and our risk and reward round, Riverdale stands at 125 and Lima Shawnee stands at 150. A very close competition indeed. Before we move on to our next round, though, we'd like to welcome to the Lima Shawnee lineup. In slot number 1, we have Jonah, and Jonah is a junior. And welcoming back everyone else from the previous round. This is the category round. We have 6 categories to choose from, and there are questions inside each category worth 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 points. However, I always need to say this, deductions do start now. If you go for 20 points, you are risking 20 points. There is, however, one double or nothing question hiding somewhere in there. Double the points, no deduction for an incorrect answer on that one question. You may confer before buzzing in, and you can steal a question in this round. Riverdale, since you are at 125, you get to make the first selection.
Theme parks for 15.
Theme parks for 15 points. I will give you a clue regarding a theme park in the United States. You name the park described. Theme park located near Cincinnati, Ohio. That would be Lima Shawnee. Ezra.
Kings Island.
Kings Island is correct. Lima Shawnee snatches control.
We get elements for 30.
Elements for 30 points. I will give you a symbol. You give the element. W. That would be Ezra.
Tungsten.
Correct. In control.
We get elements for 25.
Elements for 25. RN. Riverdale. Lily.
Radon.
Radon is correct. Riverdale sneaks back control.
Theme parks for 10.
Theme parks for 10 points. This 155-year-old amusement park, that would be Riverdale. Carolyn.
Cedar Point.
Correct. In control.
Theme parks for 20.
Theme parks for 20 points. Theme park in Orlando, Florida, that would be Riverdale. Carolyn.
Disney World.
Incorrect. That opened in 2025, comprised of 5 immersive worlds, including Super Nintendo World and Dark Universe. Lima Shawnee, chance to steal. That would be Ezra.
Universal Studios.
Universal, yes. In control is Lima Shawnee.
Elements for 20.
Elements for 20 points. SN, that would be Riverdale. Chloe.
10.
Correct. Riverdale snatches back control.
World War II for 15.
World War II for 15 points. I will give you a clue about World War II. You provide the answer. What was the name of the German Air Force during World War? That would be Lima Shawnee. Ezra.
Luftwaffe.
Luftwaffe is correct. In control now is Lima Shawnee. Back and forth we go.
Elements for 15.
Elements now for 15 points. MG. That would be Riverdale. Chloe.
Magnesium.
Correct. Riverdale sneaks back control.
Theme parks for 25.
Theme parks for 25 points. Located in Pennsylvania, that would be Riverdale. Lily.
Hershey.
Hershey Park, correct.
Theme parks for 30.
Theme parks for 30 points. Located in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, that would be Lima Shawnee. Ezra.
Dollywood.
Dollywood is correct. Back and forth we go. Lima Shawnee in control.
I get elements for 10.
Elements for 10 points. BA. That would be Ezra.
Barium.
Barium is correct. In control, Lima Shawnee.
Flavor math for 15.
Flavor math for 15 points. Identify the flavor described based on the clues given. Object to open doors plus a green fruit. That would be Ezra.
Key lime.
Key lime is correct. In control.
Flavor math 30.
Flavor math for 30 points. Churned milk plus a nutty, typically grown, that would be Lima Shawnee. Georgiana.
Butternut squash.
Incorrect. Churned milk plus a nut typically grown in the south central U.S. Riverdale, chance to steal. That would be Chloe.
Cream cashew.
Incorrect. Butter pecan. All right, in control is Lima Shawnee.
Hey, flavor math for 25.
Flavor math for 25. Opposite of white plus a symbol popular in slot machines. That would be Chloe.
Black licorice.
Incorrect. Lima Shawnee, chance to steal. That would be Jonah.
Black cherry.
Black cherry is what we needed there, yes. In control is Lima Shawnee.
Flavor math for 20.
Flavor math for 20 points. Prefix hema plus a color that has no perfect single rhyming word. That would be Riverdale. Lily.
Blood orange.
Blood orange is correct. In control, Riverdale.
Baby animals, 25.
Baby animals for 25, everyone's favorite. I will give you an animal. You state what they call their offspring. What is a baby platypus called? That would be Lima Shawnee. Georgiana.
Puggle.
Puggle is correct. Lima Shawnee in control.
Baby animals 30.
Baby animals now for 30 points. What is a baby pigeon called? That would be Riverdale. Lily.
A chick.
Incorrect. Lima Shawnee, chance to steal. Time. A squab or a squeaker? Lima Shawnee in control.
Baby animals for 20.
Baby animals for 20 points. What is a baby llama or alpaca called? Time. A cria is what we needed there. Lima Shawnee in control.
World War II for 30.
World War II for 30 points. Multiple choice question. Which city was the site of a 900-day siege during World War II? Is it A, Leningrad, B, Stalin? That would be Lima Shawnee. Ezra.
Leningrad.
Leningrad is correct. Lima Shawnee in control.
Poetry for 30.
Poetry for 30 points. I will give you a clue about poetry. You provide the answer. What poet coined the term beat movement? That would be Riverdale. Carolyn.
Ginsburg.
Incorrect. Lima Shawnee, chance to steal. Time. Jack Kerouac is what we needed there. End of round. Let's take a look at our score. Riverdale 105, Lima Shawnee 335 points. Still one round to go, and it's our brainstorm round. Stick around. And welcome back to BGSU Brain Game. We did have a scoring correction at the end of that last round. The score now stands at Riverdale 105 and Lima Shawnee at 315 points. Now, this is the brainstorm round. All questions in this round are 20 points, negative 20 points for an incorrect answer. You may confer before buzzing in, but you cannot, I repeat, you cannot steal a question in this round. Lima Shawnee, Riverdale, you at home. The brainstorm round starts right now. What is the official currency of Russia? Riverdale, Lily.
Ruble.
Ruble is correct. What 2016 Broadway musical by that would be Riverdale, Lily.
Hamilton.
Hamilton is correct. What country contains the ancient city of Machu Picchu? Riverdale, Lily.
Peru.
Peru is correct. Treasure state whose motto is Ori o Plata, or gold and silver. Riverdale, Chloe.
California?
Incorrect. Montana. Which movie features the quote, "You're gonna need a bigger boat"? That would be Lima Shawnee. Jonah.
Jaws.
Jaws is correct. What Star Wars series on Disney Plus centers around a bounty hunter? That would be Riverdale, Lily.
Mandalorian.
Correct. What music festival in California is famous for celebrity? That would be Lima Shawnee. Georgiana.
Coachella.
Coachella is correct. Who is the main protagonist of the Halo franchise? That would be Lima Shawnee. Ezra.
Master Chief.
Master Chief is correct. What superhero carries an indestructible shield made of vibranium? That would be Lima Shawnee. Ezra.
Captain America.
Correct. Who is the tragic protagonist of Shakespeare's play about a Moorish general in Venice? Riverdale, Lily.
The Merchant of Venice.
Incorrect. Othello. Which American author wrote The Old Man and the Sea? Riverdale, Chloe.
Hemingway?
Hemingway is correct. What was the name of the trade route connecting China? That would be Riverdale, Carolyn.
The Silk Road.
Silk Road is correct. Triskaidekaphobia is the fear of what? That would be Lima Shawnee. Ezra.
The number 13.
The number 13 is correct. The wonder of the ancient world that once stood in Alexandria was what? That would be Riverdale, Lily.
The Library of Alexandria.
Incorrect. This type of structure was a lighthouse. What astrological sign is symbolized by a ram? Riverdale, Lily.
Aries.
Aries is correct. What children's author first coined the term nerd in, that would be Riverdale? Carolyn.
Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss is correct. Where are red blood cells created? End of round. Let's take a look at our score. Riverdale 205, and our winner is Lima Shawnee with 415 points. Let's give both these teams a big round of applause. In the spirit of good sportsmanship, let's come out, meet in the middle, bump some fists, shake some hands, and we will see you at the next BGSU Brain Game.